guys, welcome back to another week of What's for Dinner. So we are getting started with a crock pot recipe. This is steak and potatoes with some gravy. So I'm starting out with a can of cream of mushroom. I'm going to add some beef broth as well as a packet of au jus gravy. And this is going to be our gravy that goes on top. Now we're going to go ahead and throw our potatoes in. So I just had a bag of baby potatoes that I cut in half. I'm just going to throw those in the bottom because they need to cook the longest. And then I've got some stew meat here. I just threw that on top. I did not brown it or season it or anything because our gravy has enough seasoning as it is. I did use half an onion. I just chopped that very roughly. Gonna throw that on top and then throw some mushrooms. Put the gravy on top of all of that and then cook on low for about 8 hours or until everything is tender. To go along with this meal, I made some Rhodes dinner rolls that I went ahead and prepped before I recorded. And then I actually made some green beans as well that I saw on a Facebook recipe. So it is just some frozen green beans. You cook it in the oven at 400 for a little bit. I think it's like 20 minutes. And then you sprinkle some Parmesan cheese on top. But this was really good. This is what it looks like when it all turned out. Everyone loved it. Definitely a family favorite. This next night was the star of the week, so I'm making some roast beef sliders. So I've got the sweet Hawaiian slider buns here. You can use just the Hawaiian rolls, but I prefer to use the sliders because they're easier to work with. So I'm just gonna put these in the bottom of my tin foil here, and then we are going to make some sauce for them. It's just barbecue sauce and mayonnaise mixed together. I don't really have a recipe or measurements for this. This is just whatever you like. I just eyeballed it and what I thought was good was good. So I'm just gonna put that on the bottom of the buns. Now we're gonna grab our roast beef and just layer this on the bottom. I just got the family pack of the ultra thin roast beef from Hillshire Farm. You could use the deli, but I just thought this was easier, so I'm just gonna layer that on the bottom. After I've got the roast beef all layered, I'm gonna take some mozzarella cheese and just put that on top of that. You can use provolone if you want, but I wanted to use mozzarella. I don't really prefer provolone. We like mozzarella around here, so that is what we were using. Next is the most important part of this whole recipe, and it is the French fried onions. Just layer as much as you want on top. This is kind of a customizable recipe. And then we're gonna put the other part of the rolls on. And then I'm gonna make a mixture with some butter. You're just gonna melt half a stick of butter with some beef broth. I just did 1 teaspoon. And you're just going to mix that together. If you had au jus gravy, then you could put a scoop of that in as well, but I didn't have that, so I just used beef broth, and I'm just going to brush that over the top of the rolls. And then we're going to bake this in the oven at 375 covered for about 15 minutes. Once the 15 minutes are up, you're going to take the foil off and bake it for another 10 minutes or so. You do want to watch it though, because you don't want your rolls to get too brown or too hard. Here is what they look like when they came out. They're so delicious, so yummy. My family loved it. And I went ahead and took them out of their foil pan so that I could cut them up. I'm just going to put them on another pan, which is probably excessive, but I wanted to be able to cut them up so they're easier to eat. And I'm just going to use a metal spatula. I think this is actually from the grill, but I'm just going to cut that up so it's easier for everyone to grab. With this, we just had some fruit and some mixed veggies, and everyone loved this. If you have not tried this recipe before, you definitely should. It is so, so good. Okay, so for this next night, I wanted to try to make Spanish rice. So I have a cup of rice in my fine mesh strainer. I'm going to just rinse it until the water runs clear. I'm going to add it to my Instant Pot with a cup of water and 1 tablespoon of tomato bouillon. You're going to cook this in your Instant Pot on high pressure for 5 minutes, natural release for 10, and then quick release for the rest of the time. And I will say that this turned out pretty good, but if I make it the next time, then I will add an extra scoop of the tomato bouillon. If you can hear Riley down there, she is cooing on the floor. She's playing, so hopefully that doesn't bother you. But anyway, this Spanish rice did turn out good, but I think we'll tweak the recipe a little bit next time. But yeah, I think that it's good. So if you have these ingredients on hand, go ahead and try. Also, if you have a favorite Instant Pot recipe, let me know down below. I have been trying to make Instant Pot recipes more often, but I just don't use it enough, and I feel like I need to. Okay, while the rice is cooking, we're going to go ahead and get started on our tacos. So we are making chicken bacon ranch tacos. So I'm getting started with some shredded chicken that I had in the freezer. I am just going to heat this through. I went ahead and added some water to the pan just to let it steam a little bit and heat up a little bit quicker. And then we're going to add some cream cheese and some ranch seasoning to this mixture. Just heat this through basically. After everything is heated through, I'm just going to add a little bit of bacon bits, probably like half the bag, because we'll top the tacos with the other half and just incorporate that together. And then we're going to get started on stuffing our tacos. So I got this taco kit at Walmart, and it's the nacho cheese taco shells. I could only find it in the kit, so I had some taco sauce and seasoning to use for a different meal, but that was fine. So I'm just going to lay these out and basically stuff with the chicken mixture and then top with some cheese and some bacon bits. And I just baked these in the oven for a minute more than what the box said, And these turned out super good, super crispy. The flavors just went well together, and my kids absolutely loved them. So here's what our plates look like when they were all done. We served this with that Spanish rice and some corn on the side. And this was a very yummy meal. Like I said, my kids and my husband loved it. So this last meal was kind of just a mishmash of everything. We had some leftover corn. I put some broccoli in the air fryer. And then I made some stars that I have made in previous videos. So that was going to be it for this week's What's for Dinner. I hope that you guys enjoyed. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, please subscribe. Other than that, I will see you in my next one. Bye, guys.